Hi and welcome to Best in Tesla News 230. Tesla revealed their delivery numbers and they were a beat of Wall Street estimates. But more surprisingly was the explosive growth in the energy deployment. But we are also seeing Tesla getting to new highs in China with the June numbers. And more Australians are starting to realize just how much money you save owning an EV. But we also get some more EV sales numbers from GM, and their year of execution is looking a bit slow. And a Danish study put Tesla at the top of user experience and brand. And Elon Musk gave a little update on Tesla's full self-driving version 12.4.2 that has just started rolling out. And NIO is out doing some very stupid things again. And Jim Farley admits that their EVs are not that good, but that he loves EVs. Very nice. All of this and much more in today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
Tesla came out with their delivery numbers and Tesla is back. And their energy business is out of control. In the second quarter, Tesla produced approximately 411,000 vehicles and delivered approximately 444,000 vehicles. And they deployed 9.4 gigawatt hours of energy storage products in Q2, the highest quarterly deployment yet. But I will get back to that crazy number later. But if we just start with looking at the category Others, because the Cybertruck is of course hiding in there with the Model S and the X. And as you can see, Tesla's premium cars are now back at a 100,000 yearly run rate. They have basically not been at those levels since Tesla had only the Model S and X for sale. And in Q1 of last year, Tesla delivered about 19,000 premium cars, and in all of 2023 they delivered 70,000 premium cars. So this is so nice to see, and I am guessing there is something like 4,000 to 5,000 Cybertrucks in those production numbers. But I hope we will get a little more information about that through the earnings call on the 23rd of June. But very solid numbers from Tesla's premium cars. And then Tesla delivered 411,000 Model Ys and 3s, up from 370,000 units in Q1. We tried to tell people that this was a one-off, as even BYD had an unusually bad Q1. Everyone seemed to be down in Q1, and Tesla would rise again in Q2, as they also explained. But so many analysts were out screaming doom and gloom for Tesla because of the Q1 numbers, and they were up about 15% compared to Q1. So still down in Q2 compared to last year, where Tesla sold 466,000 units, but it's not a downward trend as so many were saying. And BYD sold 426,000 BEVs in Q2, so they're still behind Tesla in Q2. And in the first half of 2024, Tesla is still the world's biggest BEV manufacturer, with about 830,000 units sold versus BYD's 726,000 units sold in the first half of 2024. So Tesla is more than 100,000 units in front of BYD as we enter the second half of 2024. So this could be a very close race once again between the two giants, as BYD has also just opened their new factory in Thailand, so that should help BYD grow as this plant gets ramped up. But for now, BYD has only beaten Tesla in Q4 of 2023, but Tesla took the whole year, and so far here in 2024, Tesla is still leading with more than 100,000 units. But because Tesla produced more in Q1 than they delivered, people like Gordon Johnson was out saying it is all over for Tesla. They can't sell the vehicles they produce anymore. But wonder what he is saying now, as the opposite is true. Tesla produced 411,000 units and delivered 444,000 units. So is Tesla doing good now, Jordan, or how does your logic work? But anyway, Q2 was a beat from Tesla, but a much bigger beat was Tesla's energy deployment, where Tesla deployed 9.4 gigawatt hours of energy storage in Q2. Now that is mind-blowing, shattering the old record of 4 gigawatt hours in Q1, and is up 132% quarter over quarter, and nearly surpassing last year's total with 2 more quarters to go. But to get some perspective of how fast Tesla's energy is actually growing, because it is an insane growth, let's just look at Tesla's history of energy deployment, because Tesla in the last 90 days deployed more energy than they did in 2019, 2020 and 2021 combined. Now that is nuts. They did that with 90 days. Remember how we have been saying that Tesla's energy system really seemed to be taking off? Well, here we freaking go. We are seeing explosive growth starting right now. More than doubling in deployment of energy storage. That is going to make some nice revenue and profits. Combine that with the fact that Tesla's actually delivered more cars in Q1 than they produced. That should also do very nicely for Tesla's bottom line. And AJ is predicting that we will see the highest total gross profit since Q4 2022 because of the increase in storage deployment. And as you can see on this chart, we can see battery storage making up a much larger portion of the overall gross profit and is contributing with about 40% of the gross profits increase quarter over quarter, if AJ is correct on his predictions here. So now Tesla's inventory is back to normal levels, or that will be Tesla normal levels, as they're still way below industry average. So as I said, this was temporary, and we can see on this chart that that seems to be the case. So we can see here, despite the doom and gloom we heard about, Tesla is still keeping up very nicely with last year's numbers. So the question is, how will Q3 and Q4 play out? Can Tesla make some growth in the second half of 2024, or will they stick with about 1.8 million cars sold again this year? But I did make a whole video about it this week, so if you want to take a deeper dive, check that one out, link down below. And just a quick shout out to Native. That is not a sponsor of this video, but I do have an affiliate link down below because I really want to become an advocate for this awesome product. Native's next generation thermal base layers features a 3D printing in the weave, creating a seamless, high ventilated, light and ultra flexible fabric with millions of small holes. It is so flexible and light that you barely feel it, offering complete freedom of movement without resistance. Designed to move moisture away from your skin, it covers your body without compromising movement or comfort. The ventilated merino wool, enhanced with 3% antibacterial silver, is odor-free and made from 100% recycled materials. I wore it for a week in Finland without any odor or thermal discomfort. I even had it with me to China for our trip into the mountains for Best in Tech.
Also works in China.
Made entirely in Italy, Native ensures sustainability by using recycled materials and offer end-of-life recycling. I highly recommend Native for outdoor enthusiasts like myself who want perfect thermal regulation. If you're interested, there is a link down below, and use the discount code LAST20 to get 20% off your order. Enjoy! And Ryan from Ryan's Model Y was in a nice article from Yahoo News this week. Exciting EV shift in Aussie market as Tesla owner gets 400 kilometers of charge for $4.50. As more renewables enters the Australian energy mix, providers are coming up with a cheaper way for people to charge their electric cars at home, like I have been talking about for the last 5 years now. But as they wrote in this article, one of Ryan's videos from 2022, which ranked up more than 20 million views, wow, outlined how it cost about 29 cents per kilowatt hour to charge his Model Y at home. But today he is able to charge it for as little as 8 cents per kilowatt hour, meaning he can get a full battery charge or about 400 kilometers of real world range for about $4.50 Australian dollars. That lines up perfectly with my savings of about $4,000 a year compared to my old Master 3. And I have had my Model 3 for 5 years now, so I have personally been saving $20,000 American dollars by owning my Tesla Model 3 instead of my old Master 3. But very nice to see this is getting out to more and more people, so we can have more people switching over to EVs, so we can clean up the air in our big cities. We did see, because of COVID, how our cities suddenly had clean air and better visibility when we stopped driving in our polluting ICE cars. This is the future we are heading for with electric vehicles. I can't wait for this future to be our present, so we can all start breathing clean air in all the big cities around the world. And for some cities even be able to see blue skies again. But if you have been following the numbers from all over the world, you will probably not be so surprised by Tesla's good Q2 numbers. I did show in my last week's news show that Tesla made a solid sales in China with 17,500 in 1 week. But it seems like in the last week they are able to get some more high numbers, as Tesla wrote on their Chinese Weibo page that it has hit a new high in June according to that Weibo page. So maybe just a new high in June numbers in China is what I'm expecting. I don't think they're at an all-time high compared to other months of the year, but I don't know what they exactly mean. But my guess is the best June ever. But that is nice to see, and maybe this will shut up some of the haters that continue to say that Tesla sales are collapsing in China. But if they just did an all-time high in June, it is very hard to argue that their sales are collapsing. And if we look at Taiwan, Tesla is not collapsing either. Tesla was the second best-selling brand in the country, and the Model Y was the best-selling car. Second best month ever, up 114% versus last month, and the second best third month in a quarter ever, up 83% versus previous ones. Best June ever, up 70% versus June last year, and best quarter ever. Year to date, up 8% over the same period last year, so Q1 might have been down, but as we have been talking about, I think this is a one-off and the whole market was basically down, and we will see Tesla starting to grow again, and especially if interest rates start coming down as well. But we can see, like here in Taiwan, they are growing again and picked up some more speed, as we also saw in China, the biggest market on the planet. And Tesla delivery numbers tells us the same story. Tesla is back on track. But it was not only Tesla that came out with some delivery numbers. GM also had some EV numbers to share. GM announced that the company sold a record amount of EVs in Q2 2024 with about 22,000 units sold. So I will bet that the mainstream media will make some great headlines for GM, as GM is up 17% in EVs year over year and is leading the way, as Tesla is down year over year. But the fact is that Mary said they would absolutely catch up to Tesla by 2025. And in Q2, Tesla sold about 20 times as many EVs than GM. And I'm all for more EVs no matter the brand, but for Elon to get so much hate for being wrong on his full self-driving prediction, and someone like Mary can just say whatever she wants and no one cares, that kind of bothers me. So are we still supposed to believe her claims that in about 6 months they will be able to keep up with Tesla's EV sales? I hope everyone can see how ridiculous that is, and has always been. Tesla sold more of their premium cars, so the Model S and X and Cybertruck, than GM did of all their 7 EV models. We can see that the Hummer EV still sells less than 3,000 units in a quarter after 2.5 years of production. I am willing to bet that Tesla Cybertruck has outsold the Hummer EV here in Q2. And the Silverado for that matter as well. And we can see the Bolt has almost no sales left, as they are not producing that car anymore, and we will probably not see much from it in Q3 and Q4. But we also have to keep in mind that GM's inventory has actually been rising over the last many quarters, and these EVs are not really sold to customers but to dealerships, so we don't know how many is actually sold. But if we look online at what is available, we can see that the Blazer that sold 6,600 units in Q2, well, there are almost 12,000 units available online, and as you can see, it is basically the same for every model. A lot of inventory for their EV models. But still, even if we give GM all their so-called sold numbers, they are still behind Tesla here in 2024 by 2 orders of magnitude. So good luck scaling up over the next 6 months, Mary. I'll bet you catch up to Tesla any day now. Well, Mary did call 2024 the year of execution, so I guess it's going to be the second half of this year where they will really start to execute. But then again, Mary also called 2023 a breakout year for GM. So she is as bad as predicting their own production and sales numbers for EVs than Elon is as predicting when full self-driving will be solved. You know, Elon is trying to predict when we will have solved the toughest problems humans has ever undertaken, and Mary is trying to predict their own EV production. Yeah, it's the same thing. A new Danish Q-factor analysis shows that Tesla is disrupting the automotive industry. You don't say. As they wrote in this article, Tesla is leading the automotive industry with a focus on digital user experience and branding, but neglects traditional digital marketing such as SEO and paid social media, as we all know. But according to a new Q-factor analysis, Tesla scores highs on user experience and brand, but Mercedes surpassed Tesla overall due to their superior digital performance. Mercedes has a strong online presence and adheres well to data regulations. Tesla primarily sells directly online without confusing model names, and heavy dealership structures make them easier for customers to understand. Although Tesla stand out with an intuitive website and strong brand identity, they could improve their visibility by investing in digital marketing, which they are also starting to do slowly, as we all know. But at the end of this article they wrote, it is extremely difficult to understand cars if you are new to the market. Only Tesla managed to communicate in a way that makes it somewhat clear what choice I face when buying a car. Yes, going through hell at the dealership or spending less than 2 minutes online ordering your car on Tesla's website. That is the difference. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this new show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. Elon gave us a little update on Tesla's full self-driving version 12.4.2 that just started rolling out, as he wrote. Sorry for the delay. This release had fewer intervention but suffered in driving smoothness. Part of the issue was too much training on intervention and not enough normal driving. It's like a doctor training too much on patients in the emergency room versus training on preventative care. Our next-gen AI model after this has a lot of promises. 5x increase in paramount count, which is very difficult to achieve without upgrading the vehicle's inferior computer. So it sounds like Tesla is preparing for a major leap in autonomous driving technology. Nice. Tesla has now fully installed all 6 huge fans at Giga Texas for their new GPU data center cooling system. These fans will cool their $2 billion, 50,000 units NVIDIA computer cluster and Tesla's own computer hardware in the coming months. And NIO is coming out with a new EV model or EV brand under NIO, their Firefly. But NIO has a tendency to make it really difficult for themselves with swap stations, but now they are shooting themselves in the foot once again. The Firefly brand won't be able to use NIO's existing battery swap station. It will have a dedicated smaller station. So this is the most stupid thing I have heard for a very long time. It would be like Tesla coming out with the next generation vehicle and it would not be able to use Tesla's existing supercharger network. And they have to start all over building a whole new charging network. What is NIO thinking here? This makes absolutely no sense. And despite the fact that electric cars declined by 20% in Sweden during the first half of this year, the best-selling car model was an electric one. With a margin of just 5 cars down to number 2, the Tesla Model Y won the registration top in Sweden and even beaten all Volvo's many models. So I guess a big middle finger to IF Metal that is still trying to force Tesla to join the union, but Tesla is still able to have the best-selling car in the country. When will IF Metal admit defeat? They cannot stop disruption. And in my country, EVs in the first half of the year had 45% market share, and that is BEVs, not including hybrids. So BEVs are now more popular than diesel, petrol or hybrids. And you might wonder, where are the hydrogen car sales? Well, they are non-existing. In 2023, one hydrogen car was sold, but I guess that customer regretted that as we closed all hydrogen stations in 2023. So in 2024, we are looking at a zero sales of hydrogen. Yep, hydrogen is nothing but a hype train. So we are actually overtaking Sweden now here in Denmark. That was in front of us a couple of years back in EV adoption, but Tesla has just got such a good, strong foothold in Denmark now. Last year, Tesla was the best-selling brand with the best-selling model in our history with the Model Y, and here in the first half of 2024, Tesla is still leading the board, and BEVs are now the majority of the market. Tesla has dropped in market share, but is still number one. And XAI posted these pictures and wrote how it started and how it's going. And as you can see, they started with an empty warehouse and suddenly they have it all filled to the brim with CPU clusters. And as they wrote, come with us at XAI and X if you like building and running the biggest computers in the world. But we got some more news about Elon's AI adventure. As Elon wrote on X, it takes a lot of work to parse large language model from the internet training data. Grok 2, which comes out in August, will be a giant improvement in this regard. So what Elon is talking about is the challenge of making sure that AI models, like language models, don't learn from bad or wrong information on the internet. He says it takes a lot of effort to cleaning up this training data, but is saying the new version of Grok will be much better at handling this issue. And adding that Grok 3 end of the year after training on 100,000 H100 should be really something special. And if you remember in March, Elon said that Grok 2 should exceed current AI on all metrics, and that should come out next month. That is very exciting, but that makes you wonder what kind of beast are Grok 3 really going to be. And Tesla North America wrote on X, the most American-made cars are sexy. To honor those who have served our country, members of the US military plus their spouses are eligible for the Tesla military purchase program on a new Model S 3 X or Y. So they will get $1,000 off. Nice. But that is not the only demand lever Tesla is pulling right now, as Sawyer wrote on X. Beginning today, all customers who take deliveries of a Tesla Model 3, Y, S or Model X by August the 15th, 2024 will receive 3 months of free supercharging. A lever no other automaker can really pull. Available in the US and Canada only, any order date is eligible, but you need to take delivery by August the 15th. And Tesla's Model Y and 3 also continues to be the best-selling EV in Australia. More and more competition is coming in, but Tesla's Model Y is still selling about 3 times as much as the best-selling non-Tesla EVs. Nearly 1 in 2 EV cars sold this year have been a Tesla Model Y or a Tesla Model 3, as the pair remains Australians' 2 top-selling EVs with 45.3% of the market. And Farzad made a great interview with the first Neuralink patient, Nolan, and you should definitely check this whole interview out, but just wanted to share this little clip from Nolan explaining what he is, long-term, looking forward to the most.
Milestones or developments you're looking forward to. This is from @BrosTalk.
Yeah, there's one in particular that I'm really looking forward to. I've talked with Elon about it a little bit. I can't wait to control an Optimus robot. I think it's going to be possible. I think it might happen while I'm in the study. I hope so. Hopefully in the next few months, maybe a year. That'd be pretty sweet. I'm really looking forward to that if it happens.
And Ford CEO Jim Farley had an interview this week and had a lot of great things to say about Tesla and Elon Musk, but also just a very informative interview in general. You definitely should check it out. But he did admit in the interview that Ford's current EVs are not very good EVs on the inside. They might look and feel nice for the customers, but Ford cannot make them profitable and is losing $5 billion this year on them.
And we learned a lot. And we learned that if you just take your internal combustion engineers, supply chain, and manufacturing people, and you ask them to make an EV, it's not going to be a great EV. What I mean is the customer-facing part is great, but we lose $5 billion on our EVs.
So it sounds like Jim is saying that they will not be profitable before the next generation platform that he expects is coming out in 2027, and the EV will cost $30,000. I did make a whole video about this interview, so if you haven't checked that one out, you should definitely do. But Jim also wrote an article on LinkedIn, but also on X, and the headline said, "Confession from Petrolhead. I love electric vehicles, and it has nothing to do with politics. It's because I drive one, my F-150 Lightning Platinum. It is astonishingly quiet and smooth. The effortless acceleration leave you with a silly grin once you get the feeling back in your face. Every morning, mine is topped up with 300 miles of range, no gas stations ever. It's that simple. For me and for millions of Americans, electric vehicles are removing daily hassle and remind us why we love to drive. If you want to have a blast behind the wheel, take the Mustang Mach-E Rally out on the dirt road." Exactly. The same conclusion another petrolhead, Jason from Haggerty, came to. As a daily driver, EV is just the logical choice. It is simple and easy. And Tesla got a new patent for self-cleaning cars. The core of this patent is detecting the current environmental condition of the enclosed space and generating a sanitation routine based on this and executing it. The sanitation routine is designed to utilize various components within the vehicle, such as utilizing the HVAC system, UV lighting, steam generators, and more. These features are expected to play a crucial role in Tesla's upcoming robotaxi service. So hopefully we will hear more about this technology at the Cybercab event next month. And the new electric Maserati, which costs $205,000, is a good showcase of how much value for money the Plaid Model S really is. The Plaid Model S only cost $88,000, but is faster and quicker than this little sporty convertible. And at the same time, the Model S Plaid has more than 40% more range and is of course both a great roomy family sedan and a beast on a racetrack with the track package. So it costs less than half, but you get more of everything, including a screen in the back, as the Model S can actually have adult humans in the back compared to the Maserati. Not much space there. And we had another accident from the Chinese rocket industry, where a rocket should only do a static fire test, but it suddenly took off and had no termination system. So it just went up and came back down and exploded. And just very scary to see how close they're doing this to the population. Luckily, there was no casualties. And before we end off with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my new supporters of this channel. My new YouTube members, Bruce Johnstone, 33,000 MB and RP. And my new Patreon producer, Greg Jacobson. Thank you so much for all your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this new show. Thank you. Couldn't do it without you guys. And let's end off with a bit of fun. Here you can see some examples of us Europeans' patience levels when it comes to full self-driving coming to Europe. That is all we have time for in this news show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help this video out a lot so others can find it on YouTube. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. And if you're already a subscriber to the channel, thank you so much for the support. But if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel or become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out as some extra perks like early access access, ad-free versions of my videos, exclusive videos, so hit the members button or check out Patreon to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on X. I post pretty much all the news as it comes out and a lot more, and check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. It is also possible to support the show without becoming a member or a patron. There is a donation option down below or on my website bestintesla.com. You can also become an executive producer and get news articles, exclusive videos, behind the scenes, and access to all my research charts and spreadsheet also on bestintesla.com, or as simple as hitting the super like button. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.